stay 6 feet away from that too. Thank you everybody for taking your time out of your morning to come down and help us kick off what I consider to be some important legislation. Torrington is a small mill town, former manufacturing. Many of our former mills are contaminated properties. We do have environmental challenges in reusing them or redeveloping these properties. So anything that the state does to provide us with more tools to be able to incentivize developers or property owners or potential future users to take the risk on these properties is hugely beneficial. So I'm grateful to the governor and our legislative delegation for seeing the benefit of doing so. And with that, I think I will turn this over to Carrie, I think, from Franklin Products to talk.
I'm going to unmask too. So, well, we've got a gorgeous day. So that's to start off with a beautiful day in Connecticut, beautiful weather. So we're thankful for that. Thank you and welcome to Franklin Products. Thank you, Mayor Carbone. Thank you, Governor Lamont, and all our distinguished guests. It is a pleasure and an honor to host the governor's signing of House Bill 7001, revitalizing properties throughout Connecticut, boosting local economies, ensuring the integrity of our environment. It's awesome to see that through the challenges that we have met over the last 7 and 8 months, that the state of Connecticut can rise above these challenges and sign bills that are going to boost our economy. I can tell you from my perspective, being a business owner, being a Franklin Products small manufacturer in the aerospace industry, we have struggled immensely throughout the last year. We have met probably the biggest challenge in our entire career here. And I can tell you that this is only going to make us stronger, and we're going to rise above this. And the state of Connecticut signing this bill, and thank you so much for signing this bill. We thank the state of Connecticut, and like the state of Connecticut will rise, we will rise too. And I'm very thankful for that. We've got a great state here, and it's exciting to see what else is to come. So just to let everybody know, just as a kind of a heads up, we wanted to boost morale, and this is one way of boosting the morale here at Franklin Products. It's been a struggle over the last 7 months, and we have actually a pizza truck for our employees. So everyone's invited afterwards for pizza if they want, and then also we have something called Crazy Hat Day, so don't be surprised if you see people in crazy hats. So that's a way to boost morale and get things going, and it's, again, been a struggle. And I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Katie Dykes. I'm the Commissioner at the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, and I'm so pleased to be here for this historic day here in Torrington. We have a historic bill that was passed in the special session. I want to really appreciate the leadership of both the Environment and the Commerce Committees who came together and recognized the urgency that we have to change our framework for how we regulate the cleanups of contaminated sites all around our state. That we have this opportunity in this special session to really transform that regulatory process in a way that will enable business owners who want to do the right thing, who want to ensure that these sites, many of them contaminated because of our industrial legacy here in the state, can be transformed to bring value and be in productive use for generations to come. That's how we improve the health of our environment here in the state. That's how we get our economy going. And now, with all the challenges that we have with this pandemic, the pressures that it's bringing to businesses around the state, we couldn't afford to continue to have a regulatory framework that was holding back improving public health and getting businesses going. And so I'm really proud, working together with Commissioner Lehman and with the leadership of Governor Lamont, to be part of transforming our cleanup framework. DEEP is going to be real busy in the months to come, developing new regulations to align Connecticut's cleanup framework with what 48 other states in the country have, and we couldn't be more excited to be part of it. Thank you.
Katie, thank you very much. So my name is David Lamont. I serve as the Commissioner of the Department of Economic and Community Development. Mayor Carbone, great to be here in Torrington. And Carrie, thanks for sharing your story about the company. We realize it is hard times. It's a challenging economy. But the bill that the governor is going to sign today, where he worked very closely with legislative leadership, as Katie mentioned, both the Environmental Committee and the Commerce Committee. This was a bill that had unanimous support, not just in those committees, but with the legislature as a whole. And the way I think we should think about this is if you're a business owner or a prospective investor in the state of Connecticut, this simplifies what is a 35-year-old system and framework we have in the state that had a lot of uncertainty and really dissuaded investment in the state of Connecticut. So we're simplifying it. We're going to have a system that looks and feels like other states. And from an environmental perspective, when there are contaminations or spills, they're going to be cleaned up. It's a very simple framework, and this is not just a small step, but in my opinion, a very large step into the future of Connecticut's economy, where we're protecting both the environment and encouraging investment. So it's really a pleasure to be here today, and Governor, thank you for your leadership on this. Over to you now.
Mayor Carbone, first of all, thank you for fighting us back again. Thanks for being such a champion for small business. I'm a champion for small business in part because I came out of small business. Gary, I know how tough this is in this COVID world. I mean, you and I were together here, I think it was just exactly a year ago, when the problem was we had a hard time getting enough labor, and demand was outstripping supply. And here we are a year later, and we have thousands of people moving into the state of Connecticut, but demand is down in the service sector, demand is down in the aerospace sector, and you're part of that supply chain. And you gave me some good news as I was walking in, and we've learned a whole alphabet soup of different programs that are out there. And Franklin took advantage of the Paycheck Protection Program, which is necessary to keep people employed as best we could. We've tried to augment that, since those programs are winding down from the federal government, with our own shared work program, talking about how it's an employment insurance as opposed to unemployment insurance. It's a way to keep you employed. If you need them part-time, the state will step in and pay for the rest, just to do everything we can to keep each and every one of you employed. And then I hope it's good news on the PPE platform. It's you make lemonade out of lemons, and the opportunity for us here in Connecticut to have our own supply chain and have Franklin Products be able to help make some of the PPE we need, I just think is remarkable good news for the state and for each and every one of you as we're fighting for your jobs every day. We've got a lot of work to do going forward, and this is part of what we're trying to do with this Transfer Act. Make it easier for you to stay in business, make it easier for you to start a business here, make it easier for you to grow a business here. And let's face it, we got a lot of brownfields here, Eleanor, here in this area and in our state, going back to our great manufacturing legacy 100 years ago. And Katie, there were no environmental regulations back then, and there are now. And this is an act that, A, makes sure that we get those spills cleaned up where they're most serious, and B, allows us to take those brownfields and make them productive again, make them areas where we can grow businesses and opportunity for each and every one of our people. And David Lamont's done an extraordinary job doing everything we can to streamline the permitting process, speed up the regulatory process, working hand in hand with the environmentalists to make sure that we can turn a brownfield into a green field and make that a place where there are a lot more Franklin products who are able to grow and prosper. And that's the reason I'm so delighted to be able to, sign the Transfer Act today. And I wouldn't be able to do it without our friends in the legislature who stood up and took the lead on this. Something, as David says, has been lingering for a long time. And I'd love it if Maria could just say a few words.
Thank you all for being here. I'm State Representative Michelle Cook. I cover the 65th District, and I live in the 65th District. And so for me, this is so vitally important. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Governor, for your lead on this, for Franklin Products and our municipal leaders as well. If we were not here 1 year ago to bring attention to the vital importance of this industry, and what you all have done for Torrington, I can't, this is really those conversations that make it go around. You know, it takes a village to make things work, and that doesn't mean just raising children. That means making our community thrive. I come from a family of manufacturers and small businesses, and I understand the ups and downs even before pandemics hit. And when we had seen the devastations of the pandemic hit our industries and our small businesses specifically, what we had heard as a legislative body was some of the lifts and the releases that we had given through the governor's office and the ability through our commissioners and the like to make things run a little smoother, a little bit more efficient, to make Main Street downtowns run in an efficient manner, to get things done in a way where they could get to work much faster. This does that. You know, I remember standing here some years ago across the street making that deal to clean up a parking lot and partner with the state. A lot of things in our community have been brownfields that, as the governor had said, need to be greenfields. I'm honored and proud to be standing here, and I cannot thank you all enough, and we will get through this together. Thank you all.
I'm Representative Maria Horn. I represent the 64th District, which includes Torrington and 8 other towns in the northwest corner. And I first just want to start off just by emphasizing the importance of being here at Franklin Products. As Carrie said before, you know, an industry that has been right in the crosshairs of the pandemic because of their relationship with aerospace. And I've had lots of conversations with businesses that are feeling that impact, and how important it is to be here today to be able to do something positive for businesses like Franklin Products. I sit on the Environment Committee, and I sat through many of the hearings on this, and so I also want to notice that this legislation it has been long time coming, and it was not obvious that it was going to pass. This is incredibly complex legislation, and it took the leadership of Commissioner Lamont, Commissioner Dykes, the legislatures, the Senate, the House, to wade through it and make sure that we followed it through to the end and brought together interests that tend not to trust one another. You have a bill here that is supported by the business community because it is good for redevelopment at a moment when we so desperately need that, and also supported by the Environmental Committee. I think this is a real opportunity. Sometimes crisis brings opportunity, and I think the fact that we can take this moment and create something that is so immeasurably good for Torrington, for the whole state, and for the environment more broadly is a really important thing. And so I thank you all for being part of this moment, and for everyone here and the governor's leadership in particular to make sure we got this over the finish line. So thank you all very much.
Would anybody else like to give a speech? I'll sign this thing.
Round 2.
Don't have to do it. 9 pens in it.
No.
No smiles.
No smiles. Hey. Thank you so much.
As we all smile under our
Right?
breath.
Don't we look like we're squinting?
By the way,
No saying cheese.
Absolutely.
Got another pen?
We'll
Get a break.
we